I really enjoy blue cheese in a salad, and for this recipe we're going to do a lovely smoked bacon, blue cheese, caramelized, or you can call it candied walnuts in a salad. So we'll talk about the blue cheese which I'm going to use. So this is the Crozier Blue, part of the Simply Better collection, and it's produced and made by the Grub family. So they do the most famous cashew blue cheese, and this is made with sheep's milk. So it's a really lovely cheese, creamy, lovely acidity. I think it's delicious in this salad. The first thing we need to do is we're going to fry off our bacon. I've just cut this bacon into lardons. I'm a big fan of the whiskey smoked streaky rashers. Even for the full Irish breakfast, I love it at home, so I do our bacon sandwich. You're looking for the Bord Bia quality mark. This is the streaky bacon. It's a smoked one I'm using, whiskey smoked, and it's dry cured. So I've cut it into lardons. If you can see that, we're going to heat the pan. We're going to put a tiny little bit of oil, just some rapeseed oil, and then we're going to put in our lardons. So that's about 3 rashers that I've just literally cut into small little pieces. So we're going to put this on here and we're going to crisp this up. So kind of spread it out all over the pan and just kind of flatten it out down like that. So there's a lovely little kind of like smokiness to it, lovely flavour. This is a really delicious bacon, to be honest with you, and I really like the flavour. Now in the other pan I'm going to preheat. We're going to toast off our walnuts, and then what we're going to do, I'll just show you the walnuts here. We're going to caramelise it in this beautiful apple syrup from Highbank Orchard. So it's Irish organic, it's based in Kilkenny, Highbank Orchard. I'm using actually 2 of their products, the cider vinegar, which is here with the mother, and then you have the apple syrup. And this is a really good syrup with pancakes, with ice cream. It is delicious, and they're the most wonderful people, so they are. So I want to just heat the pan. We're going to put in walnuts. You can use pecan nuts, you can use hazelnuts, whatever you want to. Just shake the pan for the lardons, because the key into this is to get the pan nice and crispy. So try and pick a nice big wide pan. The rapeseed oil, why do I use it? It's Irish produced, you get a high smoke temperature, and for me, I love the flavour of it. So I'll just literally place the walnuts here, and again you can use any nuts. Now usually when they're a whole walnut like that, they're a little bit more expensive, so you can use the broken walnuts because you're going to be eating it anyway, so yeah. So just toast them for a minute, and then what we'll do is pour in roughly a couple of teaspoonfuls of this. So that's the apple syrup. It's organic, it's from County Kilkenny, Highbank Orchard. They're just excellent. Even over pancakes, ice cream with pork. I've done lots of recipes using this. So just give this a little shake. Hey, we love when that happens. So you're kind of crisping up that bacon, and what you're going to get is that lovely crispy, that smokiness. It's going to work really well. So this pan should be quite hot now. So just literally a drizzle of this. That's probably about 3 teaspoonfuls. I'd say you love the way I measure everything. Just give that a little shake and turn down the pan. So if you're not careful, this can burn really quickly. So just what you're doing is kind of toasting the nuts, caramelizing them, and if you see that there, they're cooking up nicely there. So I'll pick a small pan for that. Now you can do that in the oven or under the grill, but I think on the pan it's easier to manage, so it is. So I'll just give that a minute. Again, one more shake. Just keep moving the bacon there. And when it's dry cured, you know, it's all done by hand, so it is. So it's a really lovely bacon, cut into strips. Even lovely, one of my recipes had a lovely pasta sauce with this bacon. Okay, that's on there. I'm going to turn off the walnuts. I'm going to keep my bacon up nice and high, and I'll give it a stir, and then we're going to make our lovely salad dressing. So when you're making a salad dressing, everyone, I'm going to make a little bit extra, and I would recommend that you usually use 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's the rapeseed oil that I'm using. Now the vinegar, so this is the cider vinegar that I said. It's a really nice from Highbank Orchard. We're going to use 1 of this. And you can always adjust it. It's all about your own taste buds. So this is a really beautiful cider vinegar. So that goes in there. And that's important because if you don't put the vinegar in, it's going to be kind of too sweet, because we're going to put in some of the apple syrup. Now, you can see the way this is kind of like a little bit of oil is coming out of this, which is perfect. So we're just going to let this just cook away. I want this crispy. I'll turn it down and let it cook away there. Now, into our dressing, we're going to put a teaspoonful of whole grain mustard. So I'm going to put that in there. And this salad dressing, you can double this recipe because it keeps really well, and it will keep in your fridge in an airtight container, in a little squeezy bottle, whatever you want. Literally a splash of this. You don't want it too sweet. You can put lemon juice into it if you want to, but I think that works really well because you have acidity from the vinegar. A little bit of salt, black pepper, and then what we do is we're going to give this a little whisk here. So reaching over, combining this. You can use a hand blender, but I'm not. I'm just going to, you've created an emulsion. And if it gets too thick, you put literally a couple of teaspoonfuls of water into it if you want to. So that's perfect, and that will keep, and don't worry, it'll separate, so don't worry about that. So back onto our bacon, giving it a nice stir. I want it nice and crispy. I'm just going to get a little bit of kitchen paper here, and this is a really important tip. So kitchen paper, you can just absorb any excess oil. So I'll put it on the plate that I had the walnuts in that. Bring it over, and that's what you want there. Now we're going to turn that off there. So just using the spoon, just remove this. There's just a little bit of that vinegar kind of skiting onto the pan. Gorgeous. All right. Now in that pan, what you could do is get some cubes of bread. I've already some made, croutons. Ciabatta, you can use the lovely Waterford Blah, and you could actually fry it off in that pan because there's so much flavour, so there is. Now we're going to start to assemble this. I have some lovely salad. So when you're keeping a salad, a really good tip for you, this time of year salads, because it's warm, it's humid, they wilt very quickly. So a little bit of tissue paper and cold water keeps them lovely and fresh. So we've a little bit of oak leaf, rocket, you know, a little bit of cod salad. So there's lots of lovely texture. That's exactly what I want. We're going to use some lovely apple, and I'm going to slice this nice and thinly. Watch the fingers when you're doing this. So I'm using some Granny Smith apple because there's a great crunch, great acidity, and this works really well. And I'm just going to arrange this just very, very rustic. So you just slice this at the last minute. So the salad dressing will keep, you can make that ahead, your crispy bacon can be done. I always like it when it's kind of like warm. It doesn't have to be hot, but warm. So this is our blue cheese. So this is the Crozier Blue. You know, and over the years I've got to really enjoy blue cheese. You know, for many years I didn't, but honestly, I think this is a really beautiful product. So I'm just literally taking it out. Room temperature is the key for this. I should have said that. So we're just going to literally sprinkle this all over the salad. And the key into doing a salad is always to dress at the last minute. So that means put the salad dressing on. If you do it maybe half an hour before you eat, it goes very limp, soft, and you've lost, you know, that crunchiness, which is what you want. So this is our blue cheese. Looking lovely. Plenty of it. Okay, and it's made with sheep's milk. Now, we'll put in our dressing in a moment, our bacon next, and then our lovely candied walnuts. So these are some croutons. These are optional. It's great if you have leftover bread, ciabatta, you can use the blah, you can do it in the pan, and they'll keep in an airtight container. They keep really, really well. So we're going to sprinkle our bacon on. So this is the whiskey smoked dry cure bacon, and look at that. You know, it's lovely, it's crunchy, lovely texture. I'm going to arrange a few of these just over the top of the salad, and then we're going to dress, serve and enjoy. And I'm going to have this for my lunch. So it's very, very simple. So that's the Highbank Orchard. We just caramelized them. You could have put butter into it, and there's a little bit of stickiness, so they'll add great texture into that. The nuts are not essential. The key for me is the blue cheese. I love the apple, and I really, really like the smoked bacon. Now, last thing, the dressing. Just drizzle this all over. Bring it to the table and serve it and enjoy. So that's a really simple recipe using some wonderful Irish producers. So that's our Crozier Blue cheese salad with smoked bacon, candied walnuts, and that lovely kind of punchy salad dressing. So enjoy this recipe, and thanks very much.